As you guys all know, I've been to Shanghai like almost a week. I've arrived like last week. I stayed at home and there wasn't a lot of activities that I did with my families and my wife, you know. So, but just start from this week, I'm gonna maybe do some videos just walking around in Shanghai because I have a plan. My plan is I'm going to the other provinces or go to the other cities in Jiangsu or in the Zhejiang province. So probably I'm going to Yiwu in the future, maybe next week if I got time to just look around and check out the small merchants over there. But to try to utilize the time here in Shanghai, I'm gonna do some like a video, just talking and walking on the street and check out all the business and all the situation, after the pandemic. So this is what I'm gonna do. As you guys can see, all these walls and the fence, these are the fence, like prison fence. This is actually surrounded a school. Let me show you guys. So if you look inwards, this is a playground of the high school actually. This is the condition where the so-called the Chinese school look like, and these are the education buildings, and people are doing like tutorials or whatever it is. So this school is surrounded by all these fence. You are not allowed to get in if you don't have a permission, or if you don't have family members studying in this kind of school. And as I know, I know this school, it is kind of like a good public schools. So maybe around this area, this is a pretty actually it is called the Qibao, experiment school or something. So which means you have to pay kind of money to study over here, and the parents, as you can see, these people like riding scooters, and people are waiting outside of the main gate. They are actually waiting for the students to get off their classes and try to ride them back home. So if you look at these like parents or these old ladies, or anyway, so this is the general situation here in Shanghai. And every day you see these grannies piled up, not piled up, but gathering in front of the main gate, waiting for hours to get their grandchildren or grandchildren, and just try to ensure they are get off the class on time and try to bring them back home. Because nowadays, actually, as I know, a lot of incidents happened in the schools. Maybe I'm not saying like every day it's a big risk for the children or for the students to go back home by themselves, but it is better you have a grandparents, at least usually grannies or grandfathers, because their parents are kind of busy. You always have to study, because the class off time usually is around like 4 or 5 p.m. for the majority of the parents. If they have a regular job, they wouldn't have the time to come to the school to bring their kids back home. So this is almost a task for the grandparents. So yeah, so this is basically like a living area, but this is a populated place. I think the residential population would be 50k or something around this area, or more, even more. I don't have the accurate number, but this is how it is look like after the pandemic. And I think a lot of businesses are renewed. See what I mean? Some shops maybe change the host or change the owner, but You see, at least these shops, like these street shops, are still opening. So this one is 我爱我家, like the real estate agents or brokers, and this is a kind of like a foot massage and salons and fruit like fruit market or fruit shop. Anyway, this is a wine store, and I think kind of okay, you know. I'm not trying to bring up the things like everything is sluggish and all the business are not running, you know. Maybe we will find it in the other part of Shanghai, or maybe we will find it in the other places, but I'm just do it when I see it, see what I mean? You see the real time, and maybe after several months they will close or whatever it is. It's not my business to show you the downside of the business, but maybe I will show you if I see it. So this is a very typical like fresh vegetable market or something, and they are selling this like baby bamboos. Actually, these are baby bamboos, and these things are baby bamboos, and I think yeah, they are selling like frogs. These are the frogs. They're still alive actually. These are frogs. Yeah, but anyway, it's quite dirty and smelly. I don't want to stay for a long time. And this is like a fresh vegetable market. You have a whole bunch of whole bunch of vegetables for selling. And these are like crayfish, right? Still alive. But I'm not going to buy it. But anyway, maybe we can go to the other side of the neighborhood. Probably over there. Okay, so I actually have a quite big plan for this time, for the time that I'm staying in China, because I wanna do a road trip to get down from the eastern part of China all the way along with the Yangtze River to Wuhan. So it would be like several weeks of riding or several weeks of driving to go through all the important cities or important counties in the country. But I'm not really sure if I can make it or not, because to do it so I have to invest the time and invest the money on the road, because it's not a let me flip the camera, because it's not a very easy task to do, because my wife wants me to stay with her, and she doesn't really want to go this trip, because she has to work from home, and she isn't able to travel with me. So this might be the issue, because after 2 years I came back to China for this time. The main job is to stay with the family, to enjoy the family time, because I left home for almost 2 years. So okay, so maybe I'll talk to it later, because look at this. This is a small little alley, and the people are selling stuff here. Some bread, or these people like selling quite dirty, like selling water creatures like fish, like all these kind of like crayfish or octopus. Oh, this is a little kitten. Yeah, so this is like a tofu store or something. But anyway, I think you always see people go to the the supermarket that I'm also always go there. But you know, for the ordinary people here, probably they would come to this street to buy stuff because it's gonna be relatively cheaper. Like this uncle, you know. I mean, the quality of the stuff here is definitely not that good. I'm not going to buy anything from here because maybe it's okay, you know. Maybe my mom will come here sometimes, not always. But I don't mean specifically this street, but you know, my mom loved to buy the cheap stuff. And yeah, so this is like little alleyway, you know. It's smelly, you cannot feel it, but I can smell it. It's not very clean, you know. Rubbish is on the ground and it's wet. People are not cleaning it every day. We don't got like a city, you know, urban management come to here to clean the streets every day. But you know, this is what it is. And yeah, so yeah, so typical like fruit vegetable shop. I think the stuff here are quite reasonable actually. I mean, if it's cheap, it's good, right? Anyway, so this is where the COVID come from. This bird flu or alive birds or chicken, you know. Those are the ducks, and this is a chicken. No, these are hens actually, not cock. But these are two ducks over there, quite poor, you know. It's smelly. They take shit on the ground or whatever it is. And this is like a white fur, you know, white chicken. We call it like black bone chicken. So it's a little bit different. Chinese people believe the black bone chicken contains more nutrition than the ordinary one. Okay, so see what I was talking about. A lot of people are getting. I think this is an alley, you know, just in front of another school. Oops. That's why you see a lot of people like piled up. I always say piled up, not piled up, but gathering in this area. So this is what I mean. And, so it's like popcorn stuff. Usually you wait it like I don't know, 1 RMB for several grams or whatever, or you bring your own corn, ask them to do it for you. So, okay, I'm gonna go inside here. So yeah, I think this is another school actually. See, kids are like playing in the football pitch inside, but I'm not able to get in. But look at these like parents, look at these uncles and aunties, usually like grandparents, and they're trying to bring the kids back home or whatever it is. So yeah, wow, look at this, it's quite massive actually. It's overpopulated. So try to imagine you have to come here like to bring your children back home every day. Like there are 2 uncles, security guards over there. But it's a good thing to show you like how it looks like every day in front of a school. The parents here, and yeah, it's quite amazing. I think back in the days when I was in the school, I don't think like my parents did the same job, but now it's just getting more and more complex. So I think back in the days, you know, when I was young, probably in front of the school, you got one or two parents, but not in this scale, not in this amount of people like waiting outside every day. They almost like jammed the traffic, you know. This is a road you still can let people to pass through, especially the cars, but this is a problem for the local trafficking. It's almost like all the cars recognize this is a no to go road actually. So but if you look at the banner here, like over there, like you got this like CCP slogans, like to be confident, to be self-empowered, or to be innovative. So that kind of things. But if you look at these people, they have to do the same thing. Oh, you see the children. So you see the children queue up and exit. It's not like in the Western countries. Yeah, I'm not going back to the main gate. It's not like what we experienced back in the Western countries. If you you know, go to a school and you are free to go home anytime, you know. You have to wait until 5 o'clock. This is try to imagine. This is try to remember. This is a middle school, like the children, or this is a middle school, or this is a primary school. Like the children, they are studying over there. They are no older than like 11 or 12 years old, but you still have to study until 5 p.m. And let me check out what time is it. Yeah, so it's 5:20. So they study quite. Yeah, but anyway, I have to turn the camera off because my shoelaces are losing. To tie it up. Yeah, all right. So I think now they are just you know, distributing now. They're just you know, going back home. Now you see a lot of kids. Usually, you know, it's not like one parent take one kid. Maybe sometimes they will take several, because maybe some parents, they don't have the time, so they, you know, dedicated this job to some classmates' parents. This is what I know, you know, from the people around me. So, yeah, but anyway, I think we have to leave. I think the traffic is already jammed here in this area, and yeah, it's a traffic jam. It's already jammed. I think I'm gonna cross the zebra line and go to the other side of the street. See that? Those idiots, you know. I was crossing the zebra lines, right? Those cars or whatever, they don't let me go. I think maybe, yeah, you can say it's a busy area. See what I mean? But yeah, whatever. If they hit me, they hit me, right? But anyway, I think this is the peaking hours. A lot of people here. A little bit like concerned if I have to put on my mask. But if I put on my mask, then you know, the sound quality might be downgraded. But anyway, yeah, let's move on. So I think this is another compound. You know, I think yeah, it is maybe a relatively good neighborhood. So we got like a security guard, you know, and they also put the policemen's portrait pictures in front of the main gate, whatever. Yeah, but you know, just on the other side of the road, like these buildings. These buildings are quite old actually. Those buildings were built during the 80s or during the 90s. I think these concrete boxes, the qualities are not good. You know, when I say quite old, actually, you cannot use your Western lens to measure it, because if I'm talking about like the real estate was built during the 90s or during the 80s in Sweden, then it's gonna be quite good quality stuff, you know. But China is a different story. Everything is actually downgraded, you know, like these buildings. So like all these buildings, or like in front of these relatively better real estate, these buildings, you got like 4 families living on 1 floor. So basically, you know, you got like, if you can count 1 stairs go up, you got 4 families or 4 homes. So the living density is actually very high. And but you know, these real estates, what I'm talking about, these things, probably you still have to pay, you know, 3 or 4 million to get 1 little concrete box with low quality, quite bad maintenance. You know, the water system in these buildings are not very good, because the water pipe, actually the underground water pipe cannot pump the water up to the 6th or 5th floor or even 4th floor. So for the upper levels, they are using a water container which is on the top. But you know, it's really depending on the workers, or it's really depending on if you have a maintenance workers to clean up the water container or the water pool on the top of these buildings. Sometimes if they are lacking of maintenance, the water over there are gonna be dirty, you know. I was living in the same building a long time ago, because sometimes you see worms when you open up the tap water. So yeah, but anyway, like this high building, I think they were built in the same time, but these high buildings maybe, you know, got a better quality, because the high buildings are more expensive. And they you know, in China, it's quite interesting, you know, only these high buildings has the elevators, because it's high, you know, it's very hard to climb up. But for these like 7 levels or 6 levels neighborhood buildings, they don't have elevators, which means if you are a senior elderly and living on 5th floor or living on the 6th floor, then you have to walk up to 6th floor by yourself. You know, in Sweden, you know, my apartment is like 7 levels or 6 levels. I still got, you know, elevators. But in China, everything is like downgraded. This is what I can tell. So for sure, these things are, you know, the elevators are available for these high buildings. Yeah. So I think this is pretty much what I'm gonna show you guys for today. And in the future, if I have time, I will do like this walking and talking videos in the future. And right, so thanks for watching, guys, and hope you guys will love this video. And if you have any suggestions, or if you have any ideas, if you have any things that you want me to explore this time in Shanghai, if I got time, I'll do it for you. And put your comments below, and be civilized. And yeah, that's it. Cheers. See you next time.